Hello, welcome back. The big preview is back once again. Today we're focusing on Spurs versus Manchester United. Nuno Espirito Santo versus Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, brought to you in partnership with SofaScore. Go and check out their app. Link in the description below. But anyway, let's dive in. Spurs versus Manchester United. Ronaldo versus Harry Kane. This is a big game of football. In terms of the lineups, predicted lineups, Spurs with a 4-2-3-1. Ndombele sitting behind Harry Kane with Heung-min Son, Lucas Moura out wide. Man United 4-2-3-1 with Jadon Sancho and Sir Marcus Rashford on the flanks, providing some support for Bruno Fernandes behind Cristiano Ronaldo. Expecting Victor Lindelof to partner Harry Maguire. I think Raphael Varane is going to be fit for this game. By all reports, he is back in training, so I'd expect him to start alongside Harry Maguire. There's been question marks over Maguire and Luke Shaw's form by the media. Could it be time to take those two guys out the limelight as well? For Manchester United, in terms of the setup and the system, the big thing has got to be a collective identity and a collective defensive strategy, something that has not been apparent in the last few games. With Raphael Varane coming back into the team, United should look a lot better. I think the big thing for Spurs this season is kind of how they defend. They defend in kind of what looks like a narrow 4-2-3-1, in the sense of what we don't see from Spurs is we don't see the wide players like dropping back into wide positions to defend. We see them holding counter-attacking positions, where when your opponent has the ball, let's say wide right, is you'll see that Son won't double up on Jadon Sancho, but more will sit in a counter-attacking position, and it's more down to the defensive midfield double pivot to deal with that. We'll see Son and Dembele sit in this band of free attackers. This opens up a number of problems for Tottenham Hotspur this year in terms of the tactical side of things. Creating 2v1s out wide with fullbacks is big because you can massively isolate the likes of Reguilon and Emerson on the other side. When we're looking at recent games, Newcastle for their first goal in the 3-2 defeat for Newcastle, Spurs won 3-2. The first goal was very much some maximum 1v1 with Reguilon, overlap coming, and then ball into the box for a header for Callum Wilson. And I think that's something United could do, creating that 2v1 situation in the fullback area. I think that with United, Heung-min Son won't get involved in that defensive side of the game. He'll sit on the counter-attack, which means United maybe need to deal with that counter-attack and maybe change their system. I think one way to get at that obviously is the 4-2-3-1 we've got on screen right now for Man United, but it leaves you open to the transition with Ndombele, with Moura, with Heung-min Son, dealing with Fred and McTominay probably having to deal with that themselves. So I think the big thing for Man United is reverting to a three-man midfield. I think this has got to happen in this game. I also think, looking at the setup, the 4-4-2 diamond should be the methodology, or a 4-3-3, kind of a wide diamond in a sense, with maybe having Ronaldo, Sancho maybe as a 10 in there, or even going Ronaldo through the middle, Sancho and Rashford as the kind of the wide forwards, but Ronaldo very much being that link man in there with McTominay playing on a slightly higher line. It means that you've got a 2v1 on Kane, and you've kind of got a 3v3 in this midfield battle. You could go a little bit more defensive minded and bring on the likes of Nemanja Matic. Have Rashford wide right, Ronaldo wide left, and then Bruno as the tip of the diamond. Playing in an attacking midfield. Matic can anchor the midfield. Then you've got Fred and McTominay against that counter-attack. I think that is a better blend of a midfield three to deal with the Spurs break than what we had previously. And I think that is a big thing. It's absolutely big to stop Spurs transitioning, but you can commit them out wide. As much as we're saying on that, it can happen on the right-hand side, it can also happen on the left-hand side with Ronaldo and Emerson. Lucas Moura takes up a very high position in defence, which allows Luke Shaw to get to the byline and cross. And that may be an argument for why Man United maybe should go with, let's say, an Alex Telles and a Diogo Dalot. If they can block off the correct space and win the ball in midfield, the counter-attacking potential for Marcus Rashford, Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes in this shape is absolutely massive. It's humongous. And whether it is Marcus Rashford starting that position, whether it is Mason starting that position, and Rashford maybe playing as the 10, and then Bruno playing slightly deeper, I don't think that's an issue. I think that's a good midfield as well. I think that's a good thing, and it gives Bruno Fernandes more time on the ball to get his head up and spot the pass, and you'll get Marcus Rashford doing a very disciplined job. Rashford will listen to those types of instructions and get it down. And I think that's how the game's going to be opened up. We know the quality of Heung-min Son as well. One of the reasons probably why you go three-man midfield in there as well, with more of a defensively minded midfield. Let's say we're going to go with Scott McTominay in there. It's defending the wide areas and doubling up on Heung-min Son. We know that he's got the quality. One of the big things with United, when they play an extra forward in there, let's say they do go over Marcus Rashford and Ronaldo's through the middle, McTominay and Fred have got so much ground to cover. They have an entire side of the pitch to cover. And I feel that's why a three-man midfield in this game, throwing an extra body in there, will help. Like the counter-attacking potential of Son, Ndombele, Moura and Kane, if they win the ball back, is huge. And if United have to go away from that three-man midfield that we've spoke about, that is a massive, massive concern. Big, big concern for Man United. First goal in this game is absolutely massive. It really is. And Heung-min Son's been directly involved in 4 goals in the last 2 games versus Manchester United, scoring 3 and assisting 1. But he failed to score or assist in any of his first 8 games against United, similar to Salah maybe. He's finally broken that duck and it's going to fly forward. Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't scored in any of his last 4 Premier League games, his worst run since November 2017 for Real Madrid. Bruno Fernandes is a player that's flying for United this season, absolutely flying. Leads the Premier League for chances created from open play and assists since making his debut in February 2020. Bruno Fernandes is the heartbeat of Man United, and he's a player that needs to be involved in the game. And that's why I worry a little bit about the side of things where, if Bruno plays at the tip of the diamond and United don't get him the ball enough, that is a big, big concern if that's not worked out for. Marcus Rashford, since he's made his return from injury for Manchester United, has looked good, has looked fresh. He's had 10 shots, scored 2 goals in just 152 minutes since making that return. And I think one of the big things that we saw from his performance against Leicester City is his movement. His movement in behind opens up so much for Manchester United. One of the big things it means that there's a runner for Bruno Fernandes. The vision that Bruno Fernandes has got to free Marcus Rashford, as we saw against Atalanta in the Champions League, is going to be a big thing. And I think the big thing with Bruno, 9 chances created against Atalanta. He had runners ahead of him. This could work really well with the 4-4-2 diamond in this match. Thanks for watching, guys. Do get your score predictions in the comments below. I'm going to go with Man United 2, Spurs 1. Marcus Rashford, brace. You heard it here first. Diamond for Man United. Hopefully a win. Big 3 points. We will see you next time. Subscribe if you're new. Check out SofaScore. See you later.